Dee doo dee doo doo dee doo 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 dee doo dee doo doo dee doo dee doo doo dee doo 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 dee doo dee doo doo.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cause and Effect. I'm your host, Stephen Kozanowski. Tonight, by request, we are going to be talking about making book trailers. So let's go ahead and jump right in. What we've got here is a couple of different book trailers that I've made, and I've made numerous trailers for numerous books. So obviously what you have to decide is, what works for you and what kind of trailer you want to make. So here's one of my first trailers. This one is a fake infomercial for my first book, Brain-Eater Jones. And let's take a real quick 30-second look at that and see what we got going on here.
Steve Kozanowski here, everybody, author of the brand new book, Brain-Eater Jones, just came out from Red Publishing October 14th. This book just came out. I have been getting swamped with emails, hundreds of thousands of emails, letters, phone calls, semaphores, all coming from you, all asking the same question. Steve, how many copies of Brain-Eater Jones should I buy? Good question, everybody. And the answer is this video right here. We're going to break it down for you. First of all, Brain-Eater Jones.
Okay, so there you see, all that this book trailer is just me in front of a camera with a copy of my book. I got my sleeves rolled up, but otherwise there's no real costume going on. I'm in my living room. All that it took to make this trailer was setting up my laptop or video camera in my living room, writing a script, and going with it. You can get more complicated if you want to do this sort of video. You can, have a costume, have props, whatever you want to throw into it. But this video is basically just a skit. And with it, I'm just, mimicking, pushy infomercial salesperson guy. So this is real simple, real easy, if that's the kind of thing you want to go for. I'm a little disappointed in the quality of this video. I wish I had done it with a better quality, recorder. And, that's the kind of thing that you might want to invest money in. But, it's however you want to do it. So let's look at another one of the book trailers that I've done. This is a book trailer for the Ghoul Archipelago. And it's a little bit more complicated. So let's take a real quick, another 30-second look at this. And we'll break down all the different parts for you. Brain-Eater Jones, the animated series, will be back after a word from our sponsor. The first time you fell in love was with a fantasy. The girl next door. The one you thought about every day and dreamt of every night. Don't you think about it?
Is it live? We're actually broadcasting. Oh, good evening. My name's Dr. Maynard. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, so with this one we can immediately see that it's a little bit of a step up from the last one that we did. First of all, there is an acting part that it's just me acting, and that's going to be your easiest thing because you don't have to pay yourself. You may want to bring in people that are better looking or whatever if you've got friends or aspiring actors, that kind of thing. Now with this one, as I said, with the infomercial one, it's just me in my dining room here. With this one, you can barely tell, but I've got a little bit of a costume going on here. I've got a little bit of flour in my hair to pretend like I'm going gray. I'm wearing a suit and a tie. I'm wearing gloves. And there's a little bit of blood spatter and stuff that comes in later. And basically what we've got going on here is the concept is you're watching TV. So we've got this interstitial, which is obviously an original piece of artwork, which I had for my story, Brain-Eater Jones. But if you want original artwork, you're going to either have to make it or have it commissioned or find some stock photos online. Then we transition immediately into this stock footage of the woman with the grain. And what the concept of this was that Maynard, played by me, is interrupting your regular television commercials, talking about the Ghoul Archipelago and the zombies taking over the world, that kind of thing. So with this, we just have the video of the woman collecting the grain, and then the overlay is obviously me narrating, but we'll listen real quick. That's me narrating, and you can hear in the background a little bit of music. And then you see this static that's breaking in like someone's trying to break in. and then Maynard shows up, and then we have the part that I recorded. So the question is, if I don't want to pay this woman, I don't want to pay for the music, I don't want to pay for the static and all that other good stuff, where do you get this kind of stuff online that you can legally use? And I will warn you right up front, don't steal it, don't do a Google image search, because all that stuff is potentially copyrighted. You want to make sure that you are 100% in the right. Don't assume you have fair use on anything. If you're a shithouse lawyer and you know about copyright law, don't assume that you're smart enough to outwit a judge or a defendant in a case. What you want to do is make sure that you are using stock photos, stock footage, stock music, or else you're commissioning your own. So obviously, in this case, this artwork was commissioned. It was part of my ongoing attempt to get Brain-Eater Jones to be a cartoon. What about the stock photos and the stock footage, though? You can find this kind of stuff online. You want to make sure that it is stock. A couple of good locations is Video Blocks. Now, Video Blocks is where I got the woman doing her grain. It is also where I got the static, the actual, video. So you can do a search in Video Blocks. You can find almost anything. You just have to be a little bit flexible. Obviously, my original concept for the commercial was not a woman sitting in a field of grain talking about her. I found a woman sitting in a field of grain and said, oh, okay, this could be the sort of thing that's a commercial. So you can use Video Blocks to get some of your videos. You see they have, animals, people, all kinds of good stuff. A source for stock photos is going to be Shutterstock. This is very low cost, but it is a slight cost. If you don't want to infer any costs at all, you can go through Wikimedia. And what Wikimedia is amongst other things, Wikipedia, Wiktionary, all that good stuff. Basically, all the stuff that they use is fair use, and they give a justification of its fair use. So if you find something on Wikipedia, or you go through Wikimedia Commons and you do a search for it, you can find, and you want to use that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you open yourself up to, at a minimum, if you put this up on YouTube, which you're going to want to put it up on YouTube, YouTube will shut you down if you're using some copyrighted music or potentially artwork or that kind of thing. That's if you're lucky. If you are unlucky, and this has never happened to me or to anyone I know, but I have heard about it happening, if you use copyrighted material online, even if you take it down, you open yourself up to litigation. So that's a little bit about how we got this book trailer going. Now let's take a look at my most complicated book trailer. We'll take a real quick look here, just quick 30 seconds.
After ravenous corpses topple society and consume most of the world's population, Freighter Captain Hank Mardigan is shocked to receive a distress call. 80 survivors beg him to whisk them away to the relative safety of the South Pacific. Mardigan wants to help, but to rescue anyone, he must first pass through the nightmare backwater of the Curian Island chain. A power struggle.
Okay, now this one I think is the best looking, and that's also because I put the most money into it. So what I did in this case was I actually commissioned a bunch of artwork specifically for this trailer. I didn't pay for it, but I found a service that did the Hollywood narration, so it's not just me going, in a world, blah, 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 because I'm not a professional. I'm not that great at it. But they have a professional guy that did it, and you can pay for that, or you can, do it yourself, or however you want to do it. So I paid for the artwork. I commissioned the narration. The music was part of the narration, but I also got some music from my good friend Mary Fan, who is a professional musician, and I used that to close it out. So this was one of this was obviously the most expensive of the book trailers that I've made, and that's because I put the money into it. So you can do things with, still pictures, video. This is how we know the different kinds of things that you can do and that you can put together. So once you have all this kind of stuff, what do you do with it? Well, what you do with it is, what I do with it is anyway, I go to my Windows Live Movie Maker. I have a PC, so this comes, free on my PC here. So let's look at a couple of different functionalities here, and I'm going to minimize that and open up my. This is where I keep all my documents, and we're going to put these side by side here, just so you can see what I'm doing. Now, what I do is I have all these documents ready. So the stuff that's just still images, you can either make in Paint, or like I said, you can commission it to be bought. You can go on, Shutterstock or however, and buy it and that kind of thing. Now here I have music, and this was just music that I made. It's just an acapella bullshit kind of thing. And again, you'll also have your different kinds of music. So one thing that you can do is you can take the still photos. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this still photo, which is Manuscripts Burned Presents, Cause and Effect, and it's almost like we're making another cause and effect in here. And we're actually going to be making the using Twitter cause and effect, which should be the next one up that you'll see. And the thing about when you bring photos into here, they have a caption, so you'll want to delete, click on and delete the caption unless you want to have a caption, which again is an option that you can put in there, which you actually saw that I did on this here, that the smugglers, that's just the caption function on Windows Movie Maker rather. So now I've got these 3 still images. So if we were to play through it, they'd be really horribly boring because they're just still images. And they're sitting on here for 7 seconds apiece. So how do you know how long they're sitting on there? If you go to Edit, the duration of each still image is going to be here. So if I wanted that to be only 1 second, I could change that to 1 second, and bam, that's just 1 second now. Okay. Now, what I really want this to do, though, is I want these 3 images to be the length of my stupid little acapella music thing here. So what I do is I take this acapella music thing, and I stick it at the beginning of the 3 images. Now you see, if I was to play it as it is, this 15 seconds, because it's 7, 7, and 1, because I changed it to 1, this is only a little bit less than half of that. So if I played it like this, here's me doing the acapella bullshit, and that only lasts till about the 8-second mark. So what we really want is we really want these 3 images that are on here to last as long as that, right? So one thing we can do is if we go to Project and we go to Fit to Music, what that did is it looks like the music got longer, but what actually happened was each of the still images got shorter. So now it's still 8 seconds of me doing a cappella. So now that's my opening. That's now my 8-second opening. Each of these 3 images have been limited to 1/3 of 8.72 seconds, whatever that mathematically comes out to. And now we have my opening. So this is how you can fit still images to music. And, you're going to have to play around with it and get it to how you want it to be. And then the next thing that you would do is, here I have some of my videos that I've taken before, so my Twitter videos that we're going to stick in here, and then I'll show you a little bit about how to edit that. Now, when I take a video on my machine, it comes out as a .flv file. Your machines may differ, or you may change your settings to do whatever you want to do with it. If you're having trouble with converting your video files, or for that matter, your music files or anything else, one thing you can do is you can download the Real Player Converter. And comes part and parcel with your real player. So what I did was, I did this whole video in FLV. Then you grab it, you drag it over to your converter. There it is. I changed it over to WMV and saved it to my desktop and hit start. And it took about 3 hours tonight because this is about a 39-minute video. So, hopefully you're not doing a long, how-to section like I am with Twitter. You're just doing a book trailer. But that's how you convert that to WMV, which is what my movies, I keep getting this wrong, Windows Live Movie Maker prefers. So I already did that for us. So here's where it's converted to the WMV, and I can bring it right over here. Okay, so now we've got my opening with the music and the still images. Now we have the video. Okay, so there's a big problem with this video. There's a big, long, blank space in the beginning where I don't talk. And almost all of my videos are like that. So right here around the 21-second mark, that's where I finally start talking. So let's back that off to about 20 seconds. And again, you're going to have to play with this and figure out what you're doing. But what we basically want to do is we want to cut off this whole first part here. So how do we do that? If we go to Edit and we go to Split, we're going to split that video into 2 videos now. So now we've got this 20 seconds of me not talking, and then 39 odd minutes of me talking. And all we have to do is use our delete key on my keyboard, which you can't see here, but all I'm doing is, or I could probably do a right click. Yeah, there you go. That's easier. And then remove that. Okay? And so now we've got, here's the end of my opening. Okay, so now we cut out that long part where I wasn't talking. So using this split and trim and this kind of thing, what I would do if I had multiple videos, like in this guy here, what I had was I had straightforward, the woman in the wheat video was about 30 seconds. The white static was another, I think it was only 5 or 10 seconds. And then the long period of me. Okay, so I had 3 videos. And what I was doing in my Windows Live Maker was I was chopping it up into a bunch of little splits. Okay, so maybe I'd do 20 seconds of one video, 20 seconds of the next video, 5 seconds of the static, just to get the idea that I'm breaking in and out. So this is how you can cut and paste one video or multiple videos into your Windows Live Movie Maker. Now I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's important. But those are the basic functions. This is how you do static images. This is how you do music, and you can do music also against the video. The problem is that's competing. So here, let's listen to this real quick. Okay, so you hear that I'm competing with the music, which, yeah, is also me. If you go to Projects, you go to Audio Mix, you lower the audio mix, that's the music volume. And then if you go here to Options, ironically where it says Music Volume, that's the video volume. So what you can do is you can turn this way down and this way up, or however you want to do it. And that's how I did with the woman in the grain. I turned the music way down, my volume way up, because I didn't have that booming voice of the guy that, the professional guy for this video. So I had to be heard over the music, but still wanted the music in the background a little bit. And that's how you can do that. And again, you can fit, you can attempt to, well, you can't really fit the video to the music. You'd have to cut it or put the music on loop or something like that. So that is the basic tools that you're going to need to make a book trailer, and the basic kind of book trailers that you can make. Another thing, well, I don't want to get into every aspect of this. You'll want to play around with your Windows Live Movie Maker, and you'll see all the different functionalities it has. One of the things that we have here is the animations between the still photos and the videos. So you can put in the star wipes and that kind of thing, or the up and down wipe and that kind of thing. Visual effects. So I also did a video where I turned it black and white, or you can do it burnt sienna like that. There's lots of different effects and tools in the Windows Live Maker. But the basic ones are splitting up the videos, splitting up and shortening the length of your still images, putting the music against the video, and all that kind of good stuff. And, basically figuring it out as you go along. So that should be pretty good. That should get you started, and hopefully I didn't wander on too long. But if I did not wander on long enough for you, go ahead and let me have any questions in the comments below, and we'll try and get to them personally. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and as you already know, next week we will be back with how to use Twitter.